The Detroit Lions got a victory against the Cleveland Browns in Week 4 and improved to 3-1 after the first quarter of the season. And after that first showing against Green Bay, a lot of us were worried, myself included, that would this team be able to recapture the magic that it's had essentially the past 2.5 years. Still, we are coming up on 3 years since the Detroit Lions have lost 2 games in a row, and that streak continues and may continue for quite a while as we face the Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday in Week 5. But the Detroit Lions won at a cost. We are down now both our starting cornerbacks, and when Dan Campbell was asked about it today, we got some good news, bad news, and probably more bad news. The bad news is Terrion Arnold is going to miss this week, but the good news is he should be able to go next week, meaning against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, depending on how you look at it, could be both good, just bad news all around. Then you have the even worse news that the cornerback that nobody was picking on, DJ Reed, made 2 spectacular plays yesterday, but one was the interception, and then the other one was the return. Wind up getting hurt, and looks like it's going to be a hamstring. Looks like he is going to be down for quite some time. Now, Dan Campbell said it is not a season-ending injury, but they are debating on whether or not he is going to go on IR. What could happen is the Lions have a couple choices here. If you go on IR, you're up for a minimum of 4 games. Not only that, you also take away a return from IR, in which the Lions get 8 per season. But the benefit to going on IR is that you create a roster spot. So right now, DJ Reed occupies a roster spot. That roster spot can't be filled. If he gets placed on IR, he now frees up that roster spot for somebody else to come in and potentially fill the void via a roster spot, right? So now we got guys on the practice squad and things like that. Now, I don't know about y'all, but Dan Campbell, of course, he's going to say what he needs to say. It's for us media pundits and YouTube fan pundits to say probably what he may really feel. No, actually, Dan Campbell really feels this way, but we're going to take a different approach. He said that it's next man up. Now, we saw that last year, and that got us pretty far. 15-2, home seed, home field advantage, first seed, home field advantage, and then, obviously we didn't have enough, and on top of Jared Goff's 3 interceptions, right? But is next man up going to be enough? We don't have all the stuff that we've done at the quarterback position. We don't have a lot of depth. Both starters are going to miss the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this is not the game to miss. You got T. Higgins. You have Jamar Chase. So, real talk, this might have equaled the playing field a little bit. The Cincinnati Bengals don't have Joe Burrow, but we don't have our starting cornerbacks. Both of them will be out this game. So that's going to be a tough feat. I don't know. We got Dorsey. We have, at least we don't have Vildor. Who else? We got Amik, right? But the Detroit Lions might have to bring somebody. We know that Branch can play in the slot. Detroit might have to bring somebody in. Now, Dan Campbell said at the making of this video, which was from the press conference this morning or this afternoon, that as of that moment, him and Brad did not have a conversation about bringing somebody in to potentially help out. And when he did say if they brought somebody in, it seemed like it was from a practice standpoint. It wasn't a guy that could come in and be needed to make an impact. Now, when we saw Kirby Joseph get hurt, the first person I thought about was Justin Simmons, how he's still a pretty good safety, and he's still currently on the market. But thankfully, we don't have to worry about that. There was no mention of anything wrong with Kirby today, so I think Kirby Joseph is just fine. But our 2 starting cornerbacks are going to be out. More good news, kind of piggybacking off this. With those 2 bad things, the fact that we're going to be down our best cornerback for at least 3 weeks, maybe even 4 or more. We're also going to be down Terrion Arnold against the Cincinnati Bengals. And real talk, Terrion's been terrible. He's been terrible. Got a holding call yesterday. Whether or not you thought it was trash, it was still called. He got a holding call. It's almost like not only are the opposing teams picking on him, they're also the NFL is like, you gonna do it, we gonna call it. They probably watching a little closer, right? The good news, though, is that Dan Campbell said today that sometime this week, they may open the 21-day window for Alim McNeill. Now, how that works is if the Detroit Lions open his 21 days, they have 21 days to decide whether or not they are going to shelve him for the rest of the season, ending his season, or move him to the active roster. They got to make that decision within 21 days, no later than 21 days. So Dan said also they want to be very thorough because, like, essentially, once you start the clock, you can't pause it. You can't unstop it. You can't put it in reverse. Once you start that 21-day window, in 3 weeks, you have to make a decision. So he said Alim's, and we heard that Alim McNeill was like ahead of schedule and that he could come back sooner. Dan Campbell said, like, literally all he needs is football. All he needs is football. I know it's killing him on the sideline. All he needs is football. That will be, believe it or not, he hurt himself in December. So right now we're looking at 10 and a half months. I think it was the middle of December against the Bills game that he hurt himself. But that's a speedy recovery, man, for that type of injury. So we'll see if they do indeed start his clock. Marcus Davenport might be out for a little while longer. I've seen reports that it could be after the bye, which is in about a month. As a matter of fact, a month from now, the Detroit Lions will be on their bye week. So essentially that will be about 5 games for Davenport. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals on the 5th. Then we got the Chiefs on the 12th, right? Then we come back to Ford Field against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is Monday Night Football. That is the 20th of October. I think that's our last game, so we could see Davenport in November. But it begs the question, who could we bring in as far as, is there a free agent that could come in and help the Detroit Lions? Now, somebody brought this to my attention yesterday. I didn't even think about this guy because I didn't even realize he was still on the market. But James Bradbury, the Super Bowl champion, right? I think he was with the Super Bowl, the Eagles last year. Kendall Fuller, that's Kyle Fuller, which was a Bear. Kendall Fuller, he's available. Stephon Gilmore, which is the brother to the Gilmore that we had on our team. Michael Davis, Emmanuel Mosley. So these people currently are not in the league. Emmanuel has not been on a team this season. So that is not going to be the case. Corey Ballantyne, Jordan Poyer, which is crazy because I swear I saw him on a team. Maybe I did. Asante Samuel Jr., Antonio Hamilton, Cameron Sutton. That's crazy that it is 2 former Detroit Lions on this list. Troy Hill, Trayvon Mullen, Elijah Riley, and these guys that we're not even going to entertain. They're probably, I'm guessing that they're in order of maybe, that's not age, but maybe what Spot Track thinks they can do. All right, so there's a name that was brought up, and his name is Asante Samuel Jr. Somebody sent me a DM yesterday, was like, what about Asante if DJ can't go? What about Asante Samuel Jr.? Yes, the son to the legendary Patriots cornerback Asante Samuel was drafted by the Chargers 4-year. I believe he's a first-round pick. He could be, maybe, I thought he was a first-rounder. 25 years old, was hurt last season, has not played. So no, because he was a UDFA. I'm sorry. He was a free agent this year, so he was not a first-round pick. That means he was a second-round pick or beyond. So is he healthy? Is he ready to go? I would have to go and look at his stats and see how he was doing. I do remember he was part of, we played the Chargers last year. I don't remember if he was already hurt by then. All right, so let me pull up his stats and see exactly how many games he played last season. All right, so he was a second-round pick. Second-round pick in 2021, pick 47. Okay. And last season, let me see, what has he done? Last season only played 4 games, played complete seasons the 2 years prior, and his rookie season played 12. interceptions. I mean, I'm going to be real with y'all, man. At this point, I mean, the way Terrion Arnold is playing, can we get can we get any worse? Like if we went and got Kendall Vildor, who I think is already on somebody's team, if we brought him back, like that's arguably getting worse. But Jerry Jacobs is available. We're not going to sign him, but he's available. Emmanuel Mosley, we're not going to sign him. He's available. Asante Samuel Jr. could it get any worse? Like, could we get any worse? Now, they don't have his market value down here, but seeing as how he only played 4 games in 2024 and has not played in 2025, then he probably is going to be extremely cheap. So, again, at this point in the season, we're only past the first quarter, where we're entering the second quarter now. Are we going to really nitpick about anybody that we're going to bring in? Because this is when the attrition starts to pile up. Like, this is when it starts to go into effect this time of season. We saw Malik Neighbors out for the season. Khalil Mack went down a few weeks ago. Marcus Davenport, IR. It happens. And this is just the beginning. We're not even in the second half of the season yet. So I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at this point. I mean, unless we bring back, like, which we're not, but only way I would be mad is if, like, Emmanuel Mosley or, Cam Sutton, who's also on the list, like something like that. But a fresh face, somebody that can, and I don't think he's that bad. I mean, I would have to look and see what he was doing, like how he actually looked out there. I don't see much Chargers games, but at this point, are you going to get worse? Like, if with Terrion being hurt out, and even when he was active, he was I think he had the most pass interference calls in the league. Like, so we can't get any worse, right? Or we could get worse, but would Asante Samuel Jr. be worse than what we already have? I don't know. But the Lions have a decision to make. I'm sure once they know more, they'll make a decision whether or not they put DJ Reed on IR. Again, as we discussed earlier, IR comes with because you can have him inactive. You can just have him, he'll be one of the 5 to 7 bodies that's inactive. He still occupies a roster spot, but just is sitting on the bench. Like, you can do that, but the problem is you don't create an opportunity for someone else to take that spot. So that's the decisions that the Lions have to make. So let me know your thoughts, man, on what do you think that the Lions should do? How do you feel? Does that change how you feel about going to Cincinnati? I still think we win this game, but I think it's going to be a lot tougher with now. I mean, Amit can handle his own, but it's going to be tougher because if we got Dorsey, like, I mean, you got Vildor and then you got Dorsey. So you got Vildor and then you got Dorsey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying tomato. I'm saying like more like potato, if you ask me. One's on the team, one's not, but still. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments below. I forgot to ask you guys at the beginning of this video, because I wanted you to use the whole video to see if you can notice. There's something different about this picture. Can you tell me what it is? Yes. Do you see what it is? I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Do you? You do. That's right. I had to get a different microphone cover. See, this is my first one. And although, okay, so the first one was black. Yes, I'm like this. Ask my wife. My whole family knows. The first one was black. Decided to upgrade. Ordered this one. Didn't think I was going to like it. So then I ordered this one because I thought I was going to like it. Then I get it, and it's killing me because although on camera, it might look like it matches the Detroit Lions Honolulu blue, this one matches a lot better. So I had to go back. I had to do a Brian McKnight, man, and start back at 1. Well, actually, this would be 2 because the black one was 1. But this one, we had to go back to the original. And the first one, and look how it goes. Still not Honolulu blue. That's hard to, like, that color code is very difficult to get. You're gonna get we don't have a color like purple or brown or yellow. We've got a very distinct. I'd still know. Let me know if you know off the look. You know you're serious when you know the color code to Honolulu blue. 0076B6. I've been using it for 6-7 years. Whenever I do my thumbnails or whatever, and you want Honolulu blue, 0076B6. Look it up. You'll see. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.